Well, and on the Rocky score, I have to say, a lot of the movies that have come along since, and this isn't actually my question, this is the second part of my comment, but a lot of the movies that have come along since Rocky, whether it was Little Shop of Horrors or Headway, a few other ones, have actually gone out of their way to reject attention from the Rocky subculture and distance themselves from it, like they were somehow better than that. I'm sorry to say, I know we all love Headway, but the people who did Headway turned their noses up at Rocky Horror. And I think it's credit to you guys that you are embracing the infrastructure of Rocky Horror to get your movie out there. That is tremendous.
Why do we make movies? I think people can say there's two reasons you make movies. You make them for money, number one. And I did that with the Saw movies. You know, when I did Saw, and I'm very lucky to be a part of the Saw franchise, but you know, this movie was made for the fans. It wasn't made for the critics. I'll never see a dime on this movie. It's made for, and again, even if this becomes this subculture event that keeps showing midnights forever, I will never see a dime on this movie. And no one took anything up front on this either. So that doesn't matter to us. We're doing it for the same reason Rocky Horror was made. It's an event. It's something to do. It's you go out, you can be weird, you can dress up in weird face paint, you can be a fat kid and wear spandex bodysuits and you won't be laughed at. Come, join us in weirdness. And you know what? When I was growing up in high school, that was where I felt comfortable. I was horrible. I tried to be in football. I was beat up. I was failing out of every class possible. I was a reject. And then I still am. But then I met with Rocky Horror all of a sudden. I'm in this weird production. And what is this? Thank you. I have now made money on Repo.
Thank you, Alex.
So I think, I mean, again, still to this day, Rocky Horror holds up. How many films can say that? How many films can actually say they still hold up?
Well, and I actually think Repo is going to put you guys in the cult film history books. I really do.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So my actual question is this, and this might be a little deeper than we all want to go at 2 a.m. But with the movie's themes of image consciousness and gene splicing and DNA research and all of that stuff, am I reading too much into it to ask if there's any sort of even indirect comment about those things in our society now?
It is 100%. I mean, I live in Los Angeles, and you can't walk down the street without seeing someone that is completely augmented their body. And we're all guilty of it. Every single person is, whether it's the clothes you wear, to laying out in the sun to get tan, to going to the gym to try to look good. We all want to have that. Yeah, but we all want to look great. Now, take it to the next step. What's happening right now? On television this week, they're showing the first ever face transplant in the United States. They're showing that on Discovery right now. It's happening. And what would happen if you could take it one step further? What if you could replace body parts that are not good? And I think it is happening. It is happening right now. And if you look at the only people that get out unscathed in this movie, Shiloh, she's the only one that's really innocent. Everyone has either sold their soul or tried to perfect their body or image in a way, and they've all ended it tragically in this movie. So it definitely was. Terrence definitely was making a comment about this. And you know what's something crazy? The week before we started shooting, one of our crew members called in sick. And we were like, okay, and it's like 4 days before we're starting to shoot, in 3 days he's still sick. And it's actually a female. She comes back in, and she had just had a facelift. And it's kind of exactly what we're talking about right now. She was a beautiful woman, and yet she gets a facelift. Why? She wanted to look younger. And I think people are doing it all the time. And again, it's happening. If you look online, this organ transplant, they are happening out of the country. So it's only a matter of time before it starts to happen further. Take a couple more questions, and then that's, yes, right here.
About the event Ogre, did you have any part in any of the soundtrack at all? And how did you get him on this project?
Ogre, all the music's original. Ogre didn't write any songs for it, but Ogre, again, he was just as out there crazy. We wanted to cast this thing out of the box, and again, I don't know how much more out of the box you can get than Ogre. He's, I mean, he kind of defined that goth subculture, and he's crazy. I mean, he's awesome. I don't know if you guys have seen him in concert yet, but his new thing is touring. If you see him at his concert, you'll know exactly what he's doing. Monday? This show's amazing. We just got back from it.
Sarah's here on Sunday.
Sarah Sunday!
You'll know exactly. If you see his concert, you'll know exactly how he got involved and why. He is that part. I mean, his whole stage presence is masks and blood and craziness, and that's what he plays here. So it's kind of an exaggerated version of himself to some extent. Yes?
Do you think you'll ever have a play of it again?
Again, it all depends on how successful the DVD is. If the DVD is successful, then yeah, I mean, we started as a stage show. I mean, Vegas, we got a call from Vegas a couple months ago, and they wanted us to put us up to do it. But it's really, I mean, it is hard. I mean, there's 64 songs in this thing. And it's crazy, like, face things going on and heart transplants and organ. So it'd be a big stage production. When we did it as a black box show, it was a much different production than this. We were in a stage, seriously, no bigger than this. We had some scaffolding behind us, and it was a very toned down version. If we were to do it again as a stage play, we need to pay homage to the movie. And you can't just do what we did before. What we did before was again, seriously, it was no bigger than this stage when we did it. So. We'll do one more question right here, and I'll stay around after if you guys want to talk. We'll hang out in the lobby. Yes?
It's actually a pretty big question.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Do the time warp.
The time warp? Well, on top of, okay, first off, I can tell you this. On top of driving 9 hours and being caught in traffic, when we were coming, I'll put this on for you. This might help you a little bit. Driving down here, and I feel bad for Laura who has to deal with this. All I listen to are musicals constantly. So I'm going to tell you what was on the iPod on the way down here. There were four. No, it was not Rent. It was Jesus Christ Superstar, which I saw last night starring Ted Neely, who actually did the original. So here you go. This is great. Funny story. Ted Neely's 60 some years old. His Mary Magdalene was 20. So you have Jesus Christ, the original Ted Neely with that. Rocky Horror is on the iPod. Once More with Feeling and Tommy. So that was constantly playing, and if it was not this late at night, I would sing you every song from Rocky. But I'm sure we have some Rocky cast members here, right? Afterwards, in the lobby, I will do every single song from Rocky. Guys,
I have the karaoke CD with me.
Put Don out there, and we'll all get in line and do it. And by the way, you know what? The one thing I do regret is I did beg Tim Curry to come. I wanted to do a scene of Tim Curry eating a piece of toast in the background. If we were this close to actually getting Tim Curry scheduling, it didn't work out. So that's something that hopefully for the sequel we can get them. And Richard O'Brien too. I actually got to talk to Richard O'Brien. So, okay, last one that I got to. Yes.
Okay. With the whole organs being reproduced thing in the movie, can I just ask a simple question?
Yes.
What about the whole thing
Was that your question?
Body rejecting organs and stuff like that? Will that be solved in the
There was a song that actually dealt with that, and it helped explain that Zytrate helped a body to accept organs. Because and that was a song that was cut out of the movie that was never actually even shot, but there was a scene about that. Because again, she asked about organs being, your body rejects the majority of organs. But again, hopefully if we get to release all the music, you can hear the unfilmed song about that actually goes in further to what Zytrate does. And it does talk about that.
Because it didn't explain clearly what I just thought it was some sort of drug.
No, it is a drug. It helps a body deal with the pain of a new organ, but it also helps your body to accept an organ. Guys, I thank you so much. Again, I beg you to please talk about Repo. Again, I want this thing to not die. And again, there's so many people that are trying to help it. So you guys are the ones that I care about. Keep talking about it. We'll be in the lobby talking. Those that want posters, come see me out there. And again, guys, thank you so much for having us back.
Thank you. Have you come back to any theaters? Have you made 2 appearances at any theaters?
No, this is the first one.
Wow. All right, the signing is going to be in the front lobby this time, guys. We're going to set up the chairs and everything right now.